Ladies and gentlemen, today we'll break BTD6. Forget True Sun God, forget Legend of the Night, forget the Anti-Bloon. Today, we're fusing all three into one unstoppable force, a Super Monkey Paragon, a tower so powerful that the game literally can't handle it. But before we unlock the strongest tower in BTD6 history, let's break down what makes the Super Monkey's ultimate upgrades so insane to begin with. The True Sun God. The True Sun God is pretty much the ultimate magic monkey in BTD6. By sacrificing towers from all four categories, primary, military, magic and support, it undergoes a massive change. At max power, its Sun Energy Blast deals 15 base damage, has 20 pierce and fires every 6.06 seconds, covering an enormous area. This destruction is further improved by the Golden Mean Sun avatars that provide additional firepower, acting as miniature sun temples themselves. This tower alone can pretty much carry a late game defense deep into free play, surviving well past round 200+. Acting as its own paragon. When properly buffed, however, it lacks one thing, and that is the true unlimited damage scaling. Eventually, even the Sun God starts to struggle. The Anti-Bloon. The Anti-Bloon is a Super Monkey's middle path, and unlike the true Sun God which requires sacrifices, the Anti-Bloon maximizes raw DPS without any cost. This path turns the Super Monkey into a plasma-firing death machine, launching ultra-fast projectiles every 0.036 seconds with 5 base damage and 13 pierce. But the real highlight is its ability, Mega Annihilation, which wipes the screen clean in a massive 120 radius explosion that deals 10.4k damage in an instant. This ability alone lets it carry into the late game, but unlike Sun God, it does lack scaling potential, since its ability can be buffed infinitely. By itself, the Anti-Bloon only dominates up to round 120, but struggles as bats and fortified BADs come into play. The Legend of the Night is probably the most unique of the three tier 5 Super Monkeys. It isn't about raw damage, it's about survival at all costs. Its Black Hole ability is one of the most broken mechanics in the game, preventing all life loss for 8 seconds if a balloon nicks. However, it does have a 3-minute cooldown between uses, making it sort of a last resort option. Aside from this ability though, Legend of the Night is still pretty good. It fires dark energy projectiles that deal 10 base damage, with +8 against mobs and +4 against ceramics, and infinite pierce, allowing it to cut through entire balloon waves. However, because its power is tied to its ability, it's often more of a defensive safety net rather than a true DPS tower. While it can last until round 140+, its ability cooldown eventually becomes its downfall. But what if we had a 5/5/5 Super Monkey, blending aspects of all three upgrades? Let's break down exactly what happens when you fuse all three Super Monkey paths into one. This 5/5/5 Super Monkey retains the max sacrifice True Sun God's power, meaning it still fires supercharged Sun Energy Blast, has many avatars, and enjoys all the buffs from primary, military, magic and support sacrifices. But now, it stacks the Anti-Bloon's rapid fire attack speed, making it twice as fast as normal, meaning its already absurd damage output is now doubled. Also, Legend of the Night's Black Hole probably no longer has a cooldown. Instead of only triggering on licks, it now activates mid-round, instantly deleting and killing balloons if they reach a certain distance. This is probably the most powerful tool for this Paragon, and what will help it get to the highest round it can. But before we see the Paragon in action, I just wanted to let you guys know, this is the beginning of a new series where I test out what every tower would be like at 5/5/5 with its own Paragon. So if you wanna see the series continue, please leave a sub or at least like the video. I wanna get this channel to 500 subs in the very near future, so let's hit that goal soon. Now let's talk about the Super Monkey Paragon. And I wanna give credit to MattCY1 for creating this mod. Before we go to the insanity of this Paragon, let me quickly explain how I even set it up. I played on the map Cubism in hard mode, because I wanted the prices to be more expensive for the sacrifices. I also used double cash mode to not make my life as miserable. Plus, I used a few extra mods, with them being the farming hero and the ultimate fast forward mode, which allows me to fast forward like 25 times the usual amount. With that out of the way, I pretty much just farmed the entire game and eventually build the other two tier 5s and then did the sacrifices for the temple. And after that, I finally built the Paragon itself. In the early round 100s, I managed to get all the way to a degree 73, which is not the best but should give a pretty good idea of what this thing is capable of. After that, I deleted everything from the map, keeping just it and the balloons. On its own entirely, it managed to get to round 332, which is absolutely insane just for degree 73 on its own without any other Paragon. It also had the buff from the monkey knowledge for no other tier 5s. If you wanna see how far a degree 100 Super Monkey Paragon can get on its perfect map, get this video to 100 likes and I'll do it. And stay tuned for more future Paragons and mods if it interests you. Do you think Ninja Cube should ever actually add this to the game? Or is it simply too powerful even for BTD6? Let me know in the comments what you think. See you around.